Mic check, 1 2 1 2. My family, what it do? All praises, glory, and honor to our ever-present Creator. Good to see y'all in the building. Y'all see the topic, comparing and contrasting the different stories of Yashua of Nazareth. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna bring out some light, unhinged. Bring out some unhinged light. You understand? Shine the Creator's light all up in this place of darkness, deliver our brothers and sisters who are still held captive and in bondage to the hell pits of their mind, and we get on up out of here. You know what I mean? Our job is to come on through and administer that light. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters in the chat thus far. Bronze Yog in the building, my brethren. Love and light, brother. Love and light. Shalom. May the Most High, may the Creator be with all y'all. Yashua, my beloved sister from Flow Rider. That's my elder sister, too. She be getting on my top sometimes, y'all. She be like, what up, Ak? Well, you ain't been on in a minute. What you doing? Hey, going through the ups and downs of life, y'all. You know how it is. Pray for your brother. Pray for your brother. Real as can be. I likes that YouTube handle. D real. Dude, Elizabeth Weaver. Hi. Blessings. I see y'all in the building. Brother Yahudah. Brother Judah in the building. Bless up. Good to see y'all. Y'all hit that like button, subscribe, share. Give me a second. I'm trying to charge this phone, and I've been ripping and running all day. Bang, bang, bang. All right, let me go ahead. Y'all know I like to throw a little appetizer out there real quick. You know, and whether you agree with it or not, at least you're aware of it. That's the whole point. So since we're going over the many stories, I want to look at some. I want this right here. Ain't even that long. It's like 4 minutes. 4 minutes, yeah. And James Tabor, I believe he the one that wrote the book, The Jesus Dynasty, Why the Royal Family of Jesus Was Largely Forgotten. That's this dude. I'll pull his book up so y'all can see it too. So I know a lot of y'all, be fumbling at the lips and, side jawing, mad because certain light is being shown, but it is what it is. What you can't deny is that we're not standing, or that we are standing on the shoulders of scholastic giants. What is you talking about? Ain't nobody out here. This ain't lick your finger scholarship we talking about. You understand? This ain't that. I don't know, like, what nobody told you or what any of these mealy mouth Negroes thought. Nah, this ain't that. This ain't that. I mean, all good. Virtual peace, family. What can I get some of your merch? Oh, yeah, you know what? Let me put the link in the... Look, I'm going to put the link. I got a site up. I'm going to put the site. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it up right now. And it scroll across the screen, brother. So, yeah, I got a website up, y'all. So, you should go to the website, type in your information, press get quote, then type in your information, and then you can request down in the message box, the message field, any scent you want. You know what I mean? We got over 2,500 fragrances and all that. So there's plenty of frankincense and myrrhs on deck. Plenty of that, but plenty of everything is on deck. So let me go ahead and put the site up too. I'm glad you said. I meant to update the description box before I went live. So right on, my brother John Lawson. Right on. The Dreadful Cosmon in the building. Bless up. My brother from the VA in the building. YHWH'S Israel. Bless up. Rare love. Shalom. Shalom. All right, let me go ahead and put this link in the chat real quick. Yeah, I got a website for the pure body oils, family. It's all good. And you know that frankincense, that frank myrrh is medicinal. Any inflammation you have in the joints or whatever, man. They've been using frankincense and myrrh to heal since the ancients, almost every culture too. So I got that in the pure body oil. You can put in your incense burner as well. If you're into meditation, aromatherapy, any of that, or if you know, if you're into meditation to the point you want to decalcify that pineal, that that frankincense is powerful. Blow that deal wide open on your body. You dig? So yeah, let me go ahead and put this in the chat real quick. Banner beam. All right. What I gotta do now is edit that. I'm gonna put the website on up in there. Y'all let you, bro. It's all good. Customer service is what I do. I aim to please. All right. Let me go ahead and put that right there, right here. How everybody doing though? All praises to the ever-present Creator. All praises. I see the last debate. I ain't been on since I had to spank the atheists. I had to spank the atheists. I ain't been on since then. Feel me? Yo, Sethi. I don't know what got into that boy. That boy actually thought that being an atheist was logical. You know what I mean? Like, well, what world is you living in? That's the most repugnant, idiotic madness I've ever heard in my life. What do you mean it's more logical to be an atheist and not believe in a creator? He was all over the place too, man. It was crazy. Dude was all over the place. Yeah, I'm talking about the creator. I came right out the gate and said I wasn't talking about no type of God. I'm talking about the creator of gods. His mind was fried. He couldn't even understand it. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Okay. So I ain't been on since then, for real. But like I said, going through the ups and downs of life, family issues and all that. But like, we truck through it, don't we? We get through it and we keep pushing. Everybody or Marvelous Mac website. So I ain't been on, but like been studying though. I've been in my bag though. Like if I ain't on like that, that don't mean I ain't loading up. I'm loading up. You better believe it. I'm never letting one of these mealy mouth Negroes catch me slipping ever. You know how many cats who fancy themselves as one-time brothers is, boy, salivating at the jaws right now. Look, we gonna shine this light anyway. It don't matter what you like. That's the whole point. It don't matter. You be all right. You be all right. All right, here we go right here, y'all. Put that back up. And then I'm going to play this real quick from one of these scholars that be studying this thing for real. We're going to go ahead and cook. You dig? Blessings to everybody in the chat. Hey, shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. We love the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers, Jack. We love the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. They doing their job, though. Well, blessings to them. But blessings to my brothers and sisters and all our families, man. May the love, light, and wisdom of the Creator be with all you brothers and sisters. Believe that, know that. So let's put the appetizer up real quick. I just called The Historical Jesus by Dr. James Tabor and John Dominic Crossan. Something like that. Let's cook.
When Jesus is given the news of John the Baptist's death, his mission takes on a new urgency.
We're told in the Gospels that the word is taken to Jesus. He gets the horrible news. This is his relative, the person he's worked with, and now he's dead. Now everything falls on the shoulders of Jesus. He essentially is thinking, is it up to me now to take over this movement? Remember, there's a singular movement. I would call it a messianic political movement of revolution. Who's now going to be in charge? It's very clear. He realizes, I now will have to do what John was doing. And he begins to accelerate his ministry. I think he really believes more than ever the time is at hand.
But you're beginning to see why precisely then Jesus, John the Baptist in Perea, Jesus in Galilee, the two parts of his territories, might resist him at that time. And we're beginning to see why people might be ready for that message. A double demonstration against Roman imperial power and conservative theological collaboration with it. He's going up to protest, in plain language, the collusion between the Roman governor Pilate and the Jewish high priest Caiaphas.
These are interim ethics. They're interim ethics. And yes, they're radical as hell, and they will get you killed. It means that you throw yourself, as Schweitzer put it, on the wheel of history to try to move it forward in God's way. Bring the kingdom. What is the kingdom? The will of God being done on earth as it is in heaven. So you throw yourself, and this is the last page of Schweitzer. Got it. Almost makes me cry to think of it. He said, Jesus threw himself on the wheel of history, and it lunged back and crushed him. And he basically says, are you willing to take up those interim ethics?
That this is dangerous business. He knows what happened to John the Baptist. It doesn't take divine foreknowledge or even prophetic insight to know I could get killed. We're beginning to see then, why did the Baptist movement of John, the kingdom movement of Jesus, happen precisely in the territories of Herod Antipas in the 20s? Because by 20 CE, 20 of the first century, Tiberias is finally open for business as usual. And Romanization has finally hit Galilee.
What we get in the Gospel of Mark is this extraordinary story of Jesus basically sort of arriving, coming out of the crowd in the River Jordan. And from that moment on, everything changes for Jesus. He knows that he needs to do something.
The New Testament records that he has this spiritual epiphany. But what's very clear is he's definitively casting his lot with John and with the movement, and that indeed marks the beginning of this revolutionary movement. The kingdom of God is near. Repent, the time is at hand.
We go back to our original sources. It's a twin movement. John inaugurates it. Jesus is baptized. He joins the movement. There's a joint baptizing period where they work together. And later, Christian theology loses this, and I hate it. I don't want Mary to fade. I don't want John the Baptist to fade. Among those born of women, there's none greater than John. And I think Jesus felt so deeply for his cousin John. I think the grief was unbearable to just think how that man suffered. And he picked up the gauntlet and he carried it on until he himself was, of course, crucified. Thank you.
Yeah, what kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
All the execs of all your major media, those are
Yeah. So we cooking today. We cooking a little taste. I see y'all in the building. Create a gang in the building. Create a gang in the building. Nazareth's in the building. Y'all create a gang too, man. I don't care if any of y'all Negroes on the fence. Come on home, man. It's all good. The Creator's marvelous and undefeated. You dig? And we don't care who don't like it. We about to shine this light unhinged. Unhinged. You dig? You can't take the heat. You're going to have to get about that kitchen, Jack. You're going to have to get about that kitchen. All right, so look, let's go ahead and do some cooking, man. Let's cook. Let's cook. Let me share this. Let me close this out real quick. All right, let me present this. Man, clip up, huh? That's right. That's right. Okay, dang. I think I'm gonna go that way now. I'm gonna go this way right here. Hold on a second now. Let's go ahead and eat. We about to shine this light. We don't care who don't like it. Be all right. All right? Be all right. And for real, everyone's belief is personal. All we doing is talking about information and going back over the information that those that came before us discovered. Look, at the best, you researching. You ain't even searching, you researching. You going back over what somebody else already discovered and put out. And seeing if you can, make better on it and improve it. But you ain't none of this original thought. Ain't damn one of y'all done got nothing. No, it ain't nothing like that. So for us to be arguing over and be ready to fight and fall out over us comparing and contrasting different sources of information, it's petty and weak, you ask me. Just can't damn Negro make me believe nothing. I move when I'm ready to move. So then I put the research in. That's what you're doing. You're rereading, you're researching what somebody else already put out. Your belief is personal. We can talk about the text, though. You want to talk about what certain texts say? We can do that all day. What do you believe? None of your business. How about that? How about that? Since when you got to let somebody in your house? All up in your mind. Like, since when has society been so entitled just to know what you believe? Ain't none of your business what I believe. This world changes by the nanosecond. Everything changes and is in motion. Everything. If it ain't, it's dead. So you don't look at nothing like you used to look at it 5 years ago. Hell, not even a year ago for most of us. You don't even look at that and say, what you mean you don't change? Everyone's gonna change, boy. You ain't the same body you was when you was in your sippy cup, is you? You ain't in the same body you was in, you dig, when you was running around with your onesie on. Nah, you done grew. Your body has changed. Let's stop playing the games and all that. You dig? All we doing is comparing and contrasting information. And if it resonate with you, keep searching. You dig? If it jar your spirit, you got every right to cut it off. You got too soft out here, man. Too soft. It's becoming sickening. You dig? It's just information, player. That's it. All right, let me present this. Hey, shout out to my brothers and sisters, man. Much love to be that. All right, this is where we going first, though. We going to OI Speed. That's where we going first. We're about to go ahead and unhinge his light. The name of this book is called God's Book of Ezra. It's in the OI Speed. All right. Meaning OI Speed means sky, earth, spirit. I know a lot of you mealy mouth Negroes probably done spilled your coffee. And see, I was with you till you look. It's like, well, look, if it's information of wickedness and information of something that you could have produced, then it should not be kicking ass and taking names out here. Period. Period. I'm not, now again, nobody forcing you to believe nothing. Chew the fruit, spit out the seeds. But let's read and see if we can glean something from this. You know what I mean? Learn something. Take something with us on our spiritual journey. What's wrong with that? You ain't got to believe all or nothing. Billy Mouth Negro get mad. Dang, what you mean? I'm not bound to nothing. I search it out, look at it, and if it resonates, hey, I keep digging. I suggest you do the same. And stop falling out with your people over information. You know what I mean? You know what's right and wrong. You know what's righteous and evil. You already know this. As we around here arguing about. Oh, this is entertainment. Debates and all entertainment, man. Somebody should have told them boys I do this, though. I do all that for fun. You know what I mean? But, man, look, nobody should be falling out and foaming at the mouth and call yourself throwing up curses on somebody because they got a different perspective than you. The nerve of you Negroes. It's corny. It's whack. Look at this right here. So God's book of Esther, chapter 42. Birth of Joshua or Yashua or Joshua. Whatever. We're not going to quibble over names, are we? People won't even associate with you because you say the name or pronounce any of the names different. It don't matter if it was if you said the name of who you call God different or the name of Messiah. You can get any other names wrong in pronunciation. Huh? You can call John the Baptist Jonah. Huh? Won't nobody say that. You can call Elijah Elias and Elisha Elizeus and and Isaiah Isaias. When you get to saying names wrong, dealing with the Father and the Son, boy, it would be people who would disassociate you, disfellowship you, won't even deal with you because your pronunciation. Low vibratory people, man. You understand? That's a low vibration. You can't see past that. That's low. Now look at this. Birth of Joshua or Joshua. God, Jehovah's son or Yahweh's son. See how it makes a distinction? It separates. The creator's son is God. Okay? God is not the creator. God is a one-time man who rose to the position of being a God. And he's responsible for every soul in the heavens and in the earth, or in the heavens surrounding the earth or the atmosphere and in the physical earth. For everything from feeding to looking out. It's just what it is. All right. So look at this. God, Yahweh's son, was wise above all these trials, for he had the light of the creator's kingdom with him. And it will be shown presently how much farther ahead the plans laid out by the creator's sons are compared to those plotted by his enemies. Facts. Not a nerve of you, man. Look at this. Because Pharaoh persecuted the Israelites, Moses put a curse upon Pharaoh. I heard that. Then after hundreds of years in the lower heavens, behold, Pharaoh was cast into hell. Yes, hell is in the lower heavens. And then in the chaos. And no one but Moses could deliver him, as has been previously described. So Moses descended from the higher heavens and delivered Pharaoh. And he provided Pharaoh a new name, Elais, and sent him back to the earth to labor with who? The Israelites, in order to fulfill his shortness and righteous works. Elais therefore became a willing volunteer, and many angels with him. That's so heavy. That's so powerful because remember, Pharaoh was slave master. Pharaoh was slave master. If you go back, 35? What is that? 3,500 years ago, Pharaoh was slave master, give or take. So since you familiar in this day and time with slave masters, look what slave master had to do. After he was delivered, he had to go back and fulfill what his work in what? Righteousness. From the same people you persecuted and put in bondage, their descendants, you got to look out for them. That's if you want to be emancipated from these lower heavens and really get to what the Creator has for us. Other than that, you bound. It don't matter how many of you get around and vote and cross your arms and stomp around and pout. It don't matter. You got to tap in with your maker. Sooner or later, you tap in with the Creator. Sooner or later. That's why it makes no sense for him to be jealous of nothing. Because sooner or later, no matter what, look, even the false gods depend on the Creator for substance. What are you talking about? Sooner or later, you got to check in. Any other path you take is destined to fall. Because even the false gods depend on our Creator for substance. Make that make sense, boy. You got the nerve to set yourself against him that feedeth thou. Come on now. Now look at this right here. To labor with the Israelites in order to fulfill his shortness and righteous works. Elais therefore became a willing volunteer. So slave master became a volunteer, y'all. And many angels with him. And these angels inspired who? 700 Israelites. I know a lot of brothers is on the fence, brothers and sisters. Come on home, man. Ain't nothing to be afraid of. I ain't over here casting no spells and secretly sucking at the paps of the devil. You got me all the way bent and twisted. Obviously, you don't know me. I ain't putting out what I ain't looked at. I ain't putting out what I ain't meditated on and studied, regardless if you agree with it or not. At least you aware. At least I ain't to hide my wisdom type like most you milly mouth Nick Rose. Now I ain't to hide my wisdom type. I'm a shiny, unhinged, gloves off. That's how you gotta be. Other than that, people gonna take you for a joke. You playing. You playing. Look at this. And these angels inspired 700 Israelites to do what? To separate themselves. To separate themselves from all other people. And to go and live by the direction of the angels of Yahweh or Jehovah. Moreover, the angels, that's the same angels. Now, who are the angels in this case? Remember, the angels are Pharaoh, and his angel host, the very Pharaoh that persecuted the ancestors of these very people right here, the Israelites. Look at this, man. This is crazy. When I read this, I was like, wow. Look at this. It said, moreover, the angels, or Pharaoh and his angelic hosts, sent back to guard these Israelites to fulfill their work in righteousness before they can ascend into higher heavens. Look at this. Moreover, the angels inspired these people to call themselves who? Who? What does that say? Essenes. See, if you into the Essene literature, then you know that the Essenes have daily communions with who? Angels. The angels, or the angel ambassadors of the Creator. Like it's something that's incorporated into their daily lifestyle. Some of us are more sensitive to the spiritual unseen realm than others. Some of y'all more sensitive than me. Had way more spiritual experiences than me. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But notice, we talking about Essenes. And we talking about the birth of who? The birth of who? Yashua. What Yashua got to do with the Essenes? Really? Look at this right here. The angels inspired these people to call themselves Essenes as commanded by who? Moshe in heaven. So Moses, like, hey, look, had them separate themselves, live in communities. They're going to call themselves Essenes. Now, what is Essene? Look at this. What is an Essene? That is, over here, followers of the Spirit, in contradistinction to those who follow the dictates of the flesh. So someone who lives after the Spirit, Spirit-led. Led by the essence of the Creator. Today we know them as who? Essenes. Shout out to my Essene Nazarenes, Nazarites, and all that. The Israelites, all that. All right, this for y'all. Dig, and ain't nobody telling you put nothing down. Dig, just know what you read, man. You dig? Cause like none of us can stop you from going out into society and seeing and hearing and witnessing all types of evil. What I look like telling you put something down as you read? No, just know what you read. Not, I love you enough to tell you, hey, watch out. You know what I mean? That don't mean stop. Just hey, watch out. Be safe. Be careful. You dig? If you get a visitation, they coming off like this, that ain't the Creator. Or his angel ambassadors. That's a false god. Or somebody representing him. Be careful. I love you enough to tell you that. So this right here being called Essenes was purely spiritual, and it was commanded by Moses to Pharaoh and his angelic host who watched over this encampment to mortal men to call themselves Essenes, and that means those who live according to Es, or the Spirit, and not after the dictates of the flesh. Salute. These Essenes. Let's get into it. So I know a lot of brothers is on the fence. A lot of brothers is on the fence. But when you realize there ain't nothing to be on the fence about, everything you on the fence about, you already guilty of with your literature. So at some point, we got to move past the white man narrative. The white man done touched all your literature. All your literature been touched by white men. It's their world. Where you going that they ain't touched? And shout out to my brother Cosmo and Cal, man. Me and the brothers on the phone. I think it was last week or the week before. And brothers on the phone. He was like, but look, keep it real. You know how Cal P talking, Malaki, like keep it real, Malaki. Like we need the white folk. I'm like, what you talking about? He said, shit, who else finna jump out of helicopter head first into an erupting volcano to measure the gases? Who else finna be dumb enough to jump in a rocket and try to land on the moon? Who else finna skydive and get certain, coordinates? And how else is the earth mapped out? Because a nigga ain't going to do it. So, who else finna go rock climbing and climb Mount Vesuvius right before it erupts to measure the lava flow? So you can have certain information in your textbooks and all that. Yeah, you're right. Because I sure ain't finna do it. You dig? But whatever you on the fence about, man, you already guilty. A white man done touched everything you talking about. Hell is you talking about? What spiritual book you got translated into English that the white man ain't touched? Post this mysterious book. So at some point, we got to move past that whole excuse. We got to move past that, y'all. You know what I mean? And deal with the information. And what information is more, superior or more powerful? Or what information has more light? Nobody told you put down nothing. Read away. I would say, hey, like the scriptures say, try the spirit. Try it. You ain't supposed to be reading that like that's a Dr. Seuss book. You supposed to be trying it. Oh, hold on, that don't make sense right there. Because if that's the case, then why is this? You supposed to be inquisitive. You supposed to get on somebody's nerves that call themselves teaching something. Ask away. You supposed to be asking all type of questions. Because after all, we all got to check out, right? So ain't nothing more important than understanding the reality of what you can't see. According to my opinion, ain't nothing more important to me. Because we all got to cross that threshold. Then I need to know what's going on here. You understand? Now look at this right here. Look what these Essenes, according to what Owaspi is saying. These Essenes, of those who live according to the spirit, were therefore a separate people, pledged to who? Yahweh, Jehovah, to have no king or earth ruler, except their priests, which is a rabbi. And they dwelt in communities and families of 10s, 20s, and 100s, holding what? All things in common. So now you see what we got going on at the end of Acts, the 2nd chapter, and Acts, the 4th chapter. We got communal living. But see, all those who lived after the spirit, that's what they strove to do. And really, in a capitalistic construct such as what you living in, we fools not to be doing that. Because the only thing that's going to defend us from this capitalistic beast, this monster, this Roman beast resurrected, is us coming in, mobilizing in the communities and sharing our resources. Other than that, we sitting ducks. Oh, dang, what happened? I got fired. Like, none of that would matter. You know what I mean? We got work over here on the land. You dig? You got a roof over your head. You got food you eating. You understand? And all the basic necessities are provided for. All we got to do is put our hands to the plow to make sure this thing run like a well-oiled machine. But look, this is how those who lived after the doctrine of Creator, and this right here actually is a model, is a microcosm of Creator's kingdom. What you think when you read Owaspi, you read about how the angels got to come and handle some business, high-raised angels, or dead Etherean angels. You know what I mean? Gods and goddesses got to come and assist the God of the earth. You know what I mean? In the resurrection and all that. They roll deep. They mob deep. What you mean? Ain't no individuals. To get above the second resurrection, you got to let go of all earthly affiliation anyway, and all earthly desires, and be moving as an organic body. Ain't no individuals ice skating around in Ethereans. You crazy? We move out. It's time to move out. We move out. Mob deep. Millions. You know what I mean? So we supposed to be together. We ain't nothing if we ain't together. Nothing. So look at this. Holding all things in common, But in marriage, they were what? Monogamic. They were monogamic. All right, look at this. I know my polygynous bros probably did spill their coffee and turn the camera off. But look, it's all good, man. It don't matter. You can be a man that got one woman or not. Look, what move off your own conviction. We reading just what this says, and this actually agrees with other literature out there. Nazarene in the same literature. That's just what it is, right? Accept it or don't. All right, they were monogamy. Like, look at this. Nor would they have more than one suit of clothes each. They lived on what? Fruits and herbs only. Huh? Man, we on the right path, man. Millie Mouth nigga Rose, man, you eat your rabbit food, nigga. Man, whatever. 2 years later, we still rolling. Look at this. Nor did they eat fish or flesh of anything that had ever breathed the breath of life. Y'all heard this? Look at all this, man. Powerful. And they bathed every morning at sunrise and worshiped before the altar of the Creator, doing in all things in the manner of the ancient faiths, by virtue of the angel hosts who were with them. They did these things, and they held communion with the angels of heaven every night before going to sleep. If you read these things, literature, that's all true. All that's true. See, the bros and them lived in organic bodies away from the hustle and bustle of the cities like Jerusalem and all that. He was against all the slaughtering of the animals for the burnt offerings and all, against all that. That's off. That's off. Look at this. Elais, Pharaoh had said, because I persecuted the faithists. And the faithists are Israelites. That's what a lot of brothers ain't understanding. I think we talking new religion. We ain't talking no religion. Live to your highest light, bro. What you mean? That means strive to always do what's right. Strive to raise up the next brother and sister. You know what I mean? I'll be out here in the army like that, because I persecuted the faithists and raised up my hands against them and against Yahweh, Jehovah. I was instrumental in part for their fall. Now I will labor with them to reestablish them in purity and love. And so he labored. So y'all slave master ain't got away with nothing, whether it's Pharaoh or Master Crenshaw. You bound. You bound to the heavens of this earth until you labor in purity and love to raise up your slave above you. You ain't going nowhere. You understand? And there's a such thing as spirit retaliation. Spirit retaliation. You be bound to that boy. That slave you kill, boy, mess around and catch you after, as soon as you cross over. Cast you right into a torment, a fiery hell. Yeah, slave master ain't got away with nothing. Who you harm, who you wound, you got to heal. Look at this. And so he labored. And Elais and his angel hosts made the camps of the Essenes their dwelling places, watching over these few Israelites day and night for hundreds of years. Yes, without leaving them. These faithful angels guarded them from all the warring host of angels, belonging to the armies of who? Baal and Ashtaroth, and to the triune God Luamung and his hosts. So if the Essenes or the faithists were dealing with Creator, then who were the rest of the Israelites dealing with? Why is that hard to believe when you read in the book of Hosea the same thing about the Baalim or the pantheon gods of Canaan? Or you look in there and see the Queen of Heaven, Ashtaroth, or Luamung, the self-proclaimed Christ. Look at this. And though the Essenes lived in great purity of body and soul, yet they were evilly slandered by the world's people all around them. Sound familiar, don't it? Look at this. But the Creator prospered the seed of the Essenes in holiness and love for many generations. Then came Gaphania, chief of the Louis. Now, the Louis are a class of angels that are like spiritual geneticists. You know what I mean? Matchmaking and all that. They the ones that put the inspiration on your great grandfathers and mothers to come together to establish a certain line of light, so a prophet could be born. You understand? Who could receive the Creator's light and teach and shine their true doctrine. And this is preparing the way for Yashua. Look at it. Then came Kepha, chief of the Louis, according to the command of God, to raise up an heir to the voice of who? Creator, Jehovah. And in 4 more generations, an heir was born and named who? Yashua. And he was the child of who? Joseph, and his wife Mary, devout worshipers of Creator, who stood aloof from all other people, except the who? Essenes. Yeah. And because of the extreme youth of Marah, the child was of doubtful sex, regarding which the robber said the child was an Esau, signifying neutral, meaning he didn't have any type of physical passions. You know what I mean? I know other. Nah, man. Look at this right there. So he was passionless, like, and why is that hard to believe? It's cats all in the Bible, certain men who never had women. Daniel the prophet, all of Tarsus. You know what I mean? There's plenty of cats that didn't. Look at this. The time of the birth of the child was 3 days after the descent of a heavenly ship from the throne of God. And many of their Essenes looked up and saw what? The star. The star of Bethlehem that you read about in the Bible really is a starship. Really is or was a starship coming to deliver the angelic host that was guarding their Essenes. Now it's time for Pharaoh, because he fulfilled his work in righteousness, named Elias. Now it was time for him to resurrect and experience more of the Creator's creation, him and his angelic host. So the star of Bethlehem actually was a starship. All right, now you can read with a little more clarity. Like, dang, okay. And on the real, how do we know these stars ain't ships? Y'all done seen shooting stars before. How you know there ain't no ship coursing the heavens? I'm just saying. You dig? This right here is basically saying stars are ships, and that the star of Bethlehem was a starship. And the ships come to deliver the brides and bridegrooms of the Creator. Look at this. And many of their scenes in the heavenly ship from the throne of God, and many of their scenes looked up and saw the star, and they felt the cold wind of the higher heavens fall upon the place and around the tent. Put that polar vortex on there, boy, where the child will be born. And they said to one another, the Creator remembers us. Kepha, the chief angel of the Louis, knew beforehand what the birth would be, and he sent out around the Essene encampments extra guardian angels. And these notified the descending host of heaven of what was near at hand. So the messengers from heaven stayed until after the child was born, acquainting the lays of the time ahead when Moses and Elijah with their hosts would come to complete the deliverance of the spirits of the Egyptians whom Moses had colonized in Atmospheria. Moses set them up in a little colony, not in the emancipated heavens or Etheria, but the atmosphere. You know, different layers of the atmosphere. Just because you can't see it don't mean it ain't there. It's just outside of visible light, man. Look at this right here. And Lay said, thank the Creator, I shall once more look upon Moses' face. When the birth was completed, when Yashua was born, the angels of heaven re-entered their what? Starship, and hastened back to paradise, God's heavenly seat. We cooking now. We cooking now. If y'all getting some understanding, give me a 1 up in the chat. You dig? Bless up, bless up, bless up. Give me a 1 up in the chat, man. All praises, glory to the Creator. You dig? All right. All type of understandings. But that's what's up. All right. Let's keep cooking. Let's keep cooking. Wow, I on what's called. All right, y'all. I'm gonna read 1 more, and then I might have to shut it down. All right. I'll do a couple parts of these. That way, yeah, we can just digest them and do our thing. All right, chapter 43, Esra. When Yashua was grown up and ready for his labor, God provided a host of 100 million angels to make a line of light from his holy counsel down to the earth. And they made it so. God provided a guardian host of 2 billion angels to protect the line of communication, for it was a time of war in heaven and earth. I'm gonna jump on down to what he taught, though, man. Chapter 43 is powerful. Gave him some days of recreation and all that. It was a powerful build, you dig? All right, so now let's go into the doctrine of Yashua, and his death. God said, "These are my doctrines as I talk through Yashua." All right, I don't know nothing about no pictures. I just keep it pushing. Some may be into it or not. I don't even deal. But just look at the doctrine. All right, right there. Now look what he's teaching. You ain't got to be scared, Israel. Look at this. You should keep the 10 commandments of Moses. You should not engage in war nor bet war. You shall eat no flesh of any animal, fish, bird, fowl, or creeping thing that the Creator created alive. You should do. What's up, man? What's up? You should dwell in families, communities, in the manner of the ancient Israelites. Y'all see that? Who held all things in common. This is what Yashua taught or teaches according to this. And this lines right up with the Nazarene Gospels too. You shall have no king or queen, nor bow down and worship to any except your Creator. You should not call on the name. You should not call on the name of angels to worship them, nor to counsel with them on the affairs of earth. Talking about you want the Powerball numbers. No, I don't be doing that way. According to this, you fall in darkness. Look at this. You should love your neighbor as yourself, and do to your fellow man as you would have him do to you. Stop him. Hold on.
Can you make me some cereal?
Yep, I can.
Okay.
You shall return good for evil and pity to those who sin. Look at this. I'm going to read 8 and 9 again. You should love your neighbors yourself and do to your fellow man as you would have him do to you. You shall return good for evil and pity to those who sin. It has been said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But I say, return good for evil. And if a man hits you on one cheek, turn the other to him also. The man shall have only one wife, and the woman only one husband. As the children honor the father, so will the family be blessed with peace and plenty. Remember that all things are of the Creator. You are his servants to help one another. And as much as you do these services to one another, so do you serve. So do you serve the Most High, or the Creator, Jehovah, Yahweh. Right? The service, you call yourself a servant of the Most High, or the servant of the Creator. That's clearly and only based on the righteous work you do unto others. That's the only thing that distinguishes if you serving of the Creator or not. Everything else is just ceremonial. You know what I mean? I got you. All right, let me finish real quick. Look at this. Behold, only the virtues and wisdom in your neighbor. You hear this? Behold, only the virtues and wisdom in your neighbor. His faults you shall not discover. So that kills gossip. No more gossiping. That kills that. Only talk about the good in each other. All right, your downfalls and your shortcomings, you are not to mention. Why? Look at verse 17. His matters are with his Creator. And most people know when they're doing wrong anyway. They don't need you to come tiptoeing through the tulips to remind them of nothing. Look at this. Do not call on the name of any God or Lord in worship, but worship the Creator, Yahweh, Jehovah only. And when you pray, let it be in this manner. Yahweh, Jehovah, who rules in heaven and earth. Hallowed be your name, and reverend among men. Sufficient for me is my daily bread, and as much as I forgive those who trespass against me, so forgive me, and make me steadfast to shun temptation. For all honor and glory are yours, worlds without end. Amen. To visit the sick and distressed, the helpless and blind, to relieve them, to provide for the widow and orphan, keep yourself unspotted before men. These are the ways of redemption, righteous work. Here it is. To visit the sick and distressed. You too busy licking your fingers trying to find more Bible precepts. Now get out there and get to work. Get to work. To visit the sick and distressed, the helpless and blind, and to relieve them, to provide for the widow and orphan. Keep yourself unspotted before men. These are the ways of redemption. This is what Messiah taught. Yashua Mashiach, look at this. You should take no part in the governments of men. You shall take no part in the governments of men. but observe the will of Yahweh, Jehovah, being obedient to all governments for its sake. So we ain't overthrowing no governments either. We don't partake in them, but we don't overthrow them. No armed resistance over here. Weapons down. Weapons down, Jack. We're going to change the world, boy. And faith is going to change the world. Watch this. All men are the children of one Father, who is Yahweh, Jehovah. And whoever chooses him and keeps his commandments is his chosen. Bag drop. That kills all your tribal warfare right there. That kills your tribal warfare. All the talk about who Esau is, who is Ham, who is a Japhite, who's a Mongoloid, who ain't all us mixed up anyway when you done talking. Think it's a gang, go try to run your DNA or whatever and see if it come back 100% of anything. It won't. Everybody's mixed up. You know what I mean? But that's how it's been done. And really, all that was allowed to happen to destroy that whole tribal superiority and tribal warfare, racism and prejudice. You dig? To destroy all that, because all y'all got all each other in each other. Look at this. All men are the children of one Father, who is Jehovah. And whoever chooses him and keeps his commandments is his chosen. You want to be chosen? You want to be chosen? Choose the Creator. To preserve the seed of his chosen, you shall only wed with the chosen. Do not contend with any man for opinion's sake, nor for any earthly thing. And let your speech be for others' joy. Or do not open your mouth, if your words will give pain. If what you saying is about to hurt somebody, shut that up. If you open your mouth, it's supposed to give somebody joy, laughter. It's supposed to be enjoying life,